So hopefully the more of us that become successful, they'll at least see the financial value. So when the next person says, oh, I have this black idea about this black guy who's just trying to do something, they'll be like, oh, that's a bit like dreaming, isn't it? You know what I mean? And commission them because we're gone now. I think fundamentally we need to move away from intention versus impact. Am I apologizing because I want to relieve myself of guilt?
Exactly, yeah.
Or am I apologizing because an apology will help you heal? So yeah, Dreaming Whilst Black is a documentary.
Man them in outer space.
Crime and punishment.
Cut from a different kente.
Oh, Quabs, you good?
I'm looking for my first opportunity.
You know what? I respect the hustle.
Never have I seen a black man directing. So don't mess up.
Welcome to Pass the Mic, Adjani. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We're obviously here to discuss season 2 of Dreaming Whilst Black,
Yes.
which I'm personally very excited for. How do you feel in the run-up to release?
Good. I feel really good. It was a much smoother ride this time. I felt like the first time we had no idea what we were doing and just kind of making it up. Whereas this time we felt a bit more confident, a bit more composed. We knew the characters now, so it was just like, oh, what do we want them to do? So it was just a more fun experience.
And I feel like season 1 obviously had so much hype about it. So many people loved it. So many people were talking about it. Was there ever any pressure going into season 2 once that got greenlit? Were you feeling any feelings of pressure?
massive pressure. But fortunately, we've had the pressure before. Because after the pilot, like there was like, you know, international Emmy nom, like BAFTA, RTS, broadcast. So even going into season 1 was just like, but we kind of learned now, like, actually nobody ever knew us before. You know what I'm saying? Like we just did what we wanted and people loved it. So this season we kind of came on and just blocked out the noise and just like, well, what do we want, right? Because we're all audience members as well. So it was very much what do we find interesting and let's just talk about that.
And when you sat down to like kind of ideate season 2, where did you pull inspiration from? Was it still, I know season 1 was kind of described as loosely inspired by real events. Was season 2 the same? Like, or...
Yeah. Look, Dreaming Whilst Black's a documentary, guys. Y'all, we put it in comedy category for vibes. But definitely, and obviously we always have a room, and the beauty of the room is the diversity of thought in there. So like we like to say we don't make up jokes because for the most part most stuff has happened to somebody. And you know, we all bring that into the room, and it was just about almost compiling the most interesting things into a narrative that explores the themes that we want to touch on this season. So yeah, Dreaming Whilst Black is a documentary.
That's how we should categorize it.
Yeah.
In terms of thinking about how things left off for Kwabena in season 1,
Yes.
where did you personally want to pick things back up from at the beginning of season 2? What kind of mood and tone did you want to strike at the beginning of the new season?
Well, just going into the room, there was this, like, we went into the room at this weird stage where, like, Black Lives Matter happened. All these black shows got commissioned. And then all these black shows didn't get recommissioned. And all these other black ideas didn't get commissioned. And we and a few others were kind of, who got commissioned. So I'm kind of looking at the landscape thinking, like, it's a bit bleak. You know what I mean? It's like we're going back to square one. So I was like, no, let's talk about it. Let's talk about how great the times are. So we wanted to just kind of touch on that post-BLM world where apparently the place is diverse and beaming with opportunity for all
and
of
it's
us.
far from it.
So...
And was there ever kind of any risk associated with doing that on a platform such as the BBC? Were you ever kind of aware of any risks of poking fun of kind of broadcasters being all talk and not really any action about diversity and inclusion?
No, because fortunately for us, we started as a web series. So we began calling out the industry on our own, and BBC picked us up while being called out
Yeah, exactly.
for lack of diversity at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People can take out that what they will. So going in now, it was like, well, we've been doing this. So why get scared now? Because I feel like you can play the game and still lose. So for us, it's very much, let's just keep playing the game how we play until they decide they don't want us to play anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like, season 2 really picks up in this kind of new era for Kwabena. He's really working from the inside to try and affect real change. And he's also trying to get his first proper TV credit.
Yes.
Can you kind of speak a bit about the journey we're going on in season 2 with Kwabena?
Yep. So we pick up Kwabena, where his short film that he made in season 1 has been super successful. He's signed, and all of these people want to meet him. And we see the types of jobs that are available to him, but also just the disparity between that, the pigeonhole they want to put him down, and what he genuinely wants to do. So this season, we kind of see him work on this big project called Sin and Subterfuge, which is a colorblind period drama, and kind of see the inner workings of what it actually looks like behind the curtain of diversity. But yeah, I'll just say that.
No, go on.
It's not. It just kind of we look at how people with good intentions go into a situation and not get the outcome that they desire or that they were told everyone is trying to do.
Yeah.
So it's really just unpacking how bad things happen despite good intentions.
And Sin and Subterfuge,
Yes.
let's talk about this fictional drama. Was it based on any specific drama in particular, or was it kind of a culmination of what you've seen in the TV industry over years?
Before every episode of Dreaming Whilst Black, you will see all characters and events are based on fictional characters and not based on any real event or likeness. That is our response.
I feel like, people watching it will definitely draw comparisons to some shows. What is kind of the thing that you wanted to explore about such a big topic, such as like colorblind casting? Because it is such an ongoing conversation. How did you want to approach that whilst also retaining that comedic aspect about things as well?
You know what? We just want people to enjoy it, right? We just want people to enjoy the show. But I do think, I guess, we just wanted to approach it. That's why we wanted to approach it in the way we did, from the showing the stages of power and the stages of gatekeeping, about an intention versus impact, and even people's hidden agendas, just to show how something can be done with the best intentions, if not well thought out, can kind of turn left or can just make people look side-eyed, you know what I mean? But we tried to give everybody, not necessarily their own agency, but we tried to give everybody grace as to why things turn out the way they do. Because I don't necessarily think people go out and be like, I want to fail this black man, or, this black woman will never succeed. I don't think people go in with that, because when they do that, they just don't hire us.
Exactly.
But it's when they do hire us how that still happens. So we try to give everybody grace. But just show like, look, this is how it is.
Yeah, and I remember when we spoke for season 1, I remember you kind of mentioned about like really trying to get the story across and like the real life inspiration across, for the fact that even though black stories are being commissioned, sometimes the people at the top have like no affiliation to those stories. Like they're usually white, older male execs. That's kind of what we see here with Sin and Subterfuge as well. How does Kwabena kind of navigate this new TV space, even though he's there under the guise that he is going to be working with a diverse behind the scenes team?
Well, like all of us, I think when you go into something, we never quite know exactly what we get into, but we just kind of do our best. And I think for a lot of us, or at least for Kwabena, he's carrying the weight of like, if I succeed, it'll be good for all of us. But also, if I fail, I've kind of failed all of us. And to a more academic version of that is season 1 is about the glass ceiling, and season 2 is about the glass cliff, which we had to research just to even get it over the line.
Can you tell us a bit more?
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
glass
So
cliff?
the glass cliff, in short, is structural inequities and inequalities disguised as personal failure.
Okay.
So the idea that we are given a shot, but the shot not really certified. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but then when you fail, it's perceived as personal failure, when actually it's the institution that never really gave you a shot in the first place. And this was first developed through the feminist movement, with when women getting promoted in precarious situations, and through later research, as black women do, they find out that it affects black people as well. So that was really what we wanted to discuss, which sounds super cerebral. So that's why this season was actually quite complex to like map narratively.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do you dramatize invisible things?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And how do
you make them visible?
Yeah, without being like the creepy bad guy with the twirly mustache. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what this season's about, and I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's really expertly mapped out, because as much as there's so many serious themes and like issues in it, it's still a comedy. It's still laugh out loud, hilarious. How did you also go about trying to balance like Kwabena's career journey with like his on-off love story with Vanessa, and then also his friends' stories? Obviously, we're seeing that kind of like navigation of the nursery system and private education system for babies, which is something that will baffle a lot of people who aren't parents.
To be fair, it's all credit to the room, and fortunately, with like access, like the access we have now that we didn't have. So like A24 was very great early on, and when we wanted to do something, doing the research or getting like focus groups done and all of that kind of stuff. So again, the thing is, there were parents in the room.
Yeah.
There were black women in the room who really are not happy with how the dating scene of dating black men is in London. You know what I'm saying? But then there were black men who were kind of pushing back, like, yo, like there are reasons for this. You know what I'm saying? So after season, and that's the thing, the beauty of season 2 is that formula of balancing like multiple storylines is something that we had to learn in season 1. So we kind of came into season 2 knowing, all right, Rain, this is how many scenes we can give Quabs. This is how many scenes we can give Vanessa. But equally, like, people don't get, like, I live with my cousins, right? My cousin who's a teacher.
Yeah.
He don't care how Marvel gets made.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Him just want to watch it.
Some people just enjoy it.
Yeah, but just want to watch it. And if I love it, I love it. So we were very conscious of like, okay, as much as the industry might love this insight into the industry, my cousin don't care.
No.
So what does he care about?
Yeah.
And it's like, actually, he cares about relationships.
Yeah.
He cares about trying to elevate professionally. He cares about family dynamics. Like we talk about Black Tax this season with like Amy, Hannah, mom and sister. Yeah. People just care about everyday shit.
Yeah.
Not every day save the world. Like just sometimes try to get the girl. So.
And can you speak a bit more about that? Because obviously we pick back up in season 2. Vanessa's been off in New York.
Yeah.
She's come back. There's a very hilarious club scene
Yeah.
where Vanessa and Kwabena see each other for the first time. How is everything between them at the beginning of the season versus at the end? Like the kind of journey we go on with them.
Okay, so we call the theme, I mean, I don't have the words, but the theme we call it is circling the block, which I guess we will understand what that means, right? Or rekindling an old flame.
Yeah, there we go.
Right. And, there was this thing coming into the room. And again, just feedback from the women in the room. They were like, yo, we didn't really get much of Vanessa last season.
No,
so,
we didn't.
Do we need her? And I was like, nah, we need her because, like, it's about her.
Yeah.
Like the pilot, we set up his dream. His dream is Jamaica Road, but his dream is also Vanessa.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we need her, and then I'm like, boy, you gotta justify
Her being
having,
here.
you know what I'm saying? So that, and also we just thought, you know what, let's make it more interesting. You know, that if they're each other's soulmate, or if they burn for each other, what would that be like when they reconnect? So yeah, we start off with Kwabena not pretending he's over Vanessa and thinking that she's in New York, only to find out that actually not only is she in London, but actually his family knew she was in London and didn't tell him, only to run into her in a club with another man who is 6'7" and very muscular. And, you know...
But who Kwabena is pretty much ready to fight.
But Kwabena's pretending that he's ready to go, but, you know, when a man's 6'7", it's a different vibe. So it's funny because it's almost that insecurity and like just vexation that kind of spurs him to be like, nah, but why not me?
Yeah.
And that almost spearheads Kwabena's journey of like, actually, I want Vanessa back, but not quite being able to articulate why.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a spicy storyline.
It is, and I feel like we see a bit more of a different side to both Kwabena and Vanessa this season. Was it important for you to kind of really dig into black male vulnerability and kind of the emotional side of a breakup as it pertains to Kwabena? Because we're really seeing him really trying to figure out whether he wants to be with Vanessa, how to make that happen, even getting into a flash mob at one point.
No, it was important for us. I feel like, honestly, even from last season with Kwabena, we had that whole scene with the restaurant.
Yeah, that was literally... Yeah, that was the kind of scene that you put in the group chat with your friends. That's what I did.
You know what I'm saying? Because the type, and what we tried to do is, look, we just try to humanize the man them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not expressive. We're not necessarily taught to be, and to be honest, we're not necessarily celebrated when we are, which completely understand why, and completely understand why there's no space to hold our feelings, because we've been holding it back for so long. But we just want to show, say, yo, the man them have feelings in a dog, and our feelings are valid.
Yeah.
So it was important for us to just show that realness, but also at the same time be held accountable by the black women who it affects, right? Because yes, we deserve to express ourselves, and yes, there's reasons why we don't express ourselves, but when we don't, someone's impacted by that.
Exactly.
So it was just trying to peel back the layers for the man them so we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it really will spark a lot of conversation. What conversations went into the flash mob scene? Was that one that you were really you were gunning for?
No. You know what? Yemi, who is one of the writers on the show, she's been with us since season 1.
Yeah.
The first day in the room, we were thinking, well, what's new? What new dreams can we have? And immediately she was like, musical. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if you've heard my voice. But she's like, nah, trust me. And we went through a whole episode is a musical. To should we just set an episode at Carnival? We went through all the options. And it was we ended up cutting it entirely.
Yeah.
Until we just needed that thing. And it's missing that thing. And I was like, damn, Yemi's right. It's missing the musical. But then it was that weird thing of when we did it, when we wrote it initially, everybody thought, oh, this is super funny.
Yeah.
Because they thought the joke would be, I can't sing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
So what did you do to prepare? That was just easy.
We sent them the invoice. This is my voice coach. Don't play with me. I'm not going out like that. I will not be embarrassed.
You came prepared.
I came prepared.
Oh,
I might have to drop
wow.
it down. Might have to bust down some falsetto on them. You know what I'm saying?
Good. Were you nervous?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Like you know, it's even though we did it and we did it live as well. So like
my
the
God.
recording people here is the recording on the day. But I was just like, yo, Bonnet dog, like all out. This season we're just like it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
So at this point,
You might as well.
I might as
You
well.
might as well just start singing in the middle of a
So-
bougie restaurant.
You know what I mean?
And obviously, one of the intersecting stories we get is also of Amy, kind of as you
Yes.
mentioned before, and her kind of struggle. Obviously, we see her and Kwabena like come up against it really, and they have a falling out, and it's very much like somewhat rooted in Amy being like, yeah, this is my dream job, but it's not paying enough. I won't be able to take it. And kind of checking Kwabena about maybe his privilege that he doesn't really realize of him living at home and being able to wait for his dream
Yeah.
job. Was that something that was kind of born out of experience of working in TV and kind of seeing that at play, or?
Yeah, so to be honest, those are one of the similarities that I have with Kwabena, where I had the privilege of like living at my aunt's house, and if my kind of never paid the rent, or if I kind of said, yo, auntie, I only have £200 right now, she'd love me. So I had the privilege of just like grinding and working on a web series and like shooting agot stuff just to survive.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, from time you get relegated from Heinz beans to like Asda brand beans, you know the thing peak.
Yeah.
But I had the luxury to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas, ironically, actually, a lot of my friends are renting and have jobs and have to keep working to pay these bills.
Exactly.
So we just wanted to explore that, and it felt apt to explore that through a black woman, because it's normally them I hold it down, you know. But so it was me seeing it, and was the team saying like, you know, because there's a big misconception in the show that the show is about race.
Yeah.
And it is actually not.
No,
it
it's
is
not.
about us.
Yeah.
And which is why all the themes are actually always about us. And even when Kwabena's in the workplace, if you actually look at who influences the decisions, it's always the black people. So black tax is just something that we just wanted to again, we just want people to feel seen and kind of just show our reality.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was important that we did that.
And for our listeners, could you kind of explain a bit more about black tax and the way you wanted to approach it as well?
So black tax, in an analogy, is this. After season 1, I went back to Jamaica to go see my mother and everything. And I remember asking Ali, like when we were talking in the room, Ali, who we write with as well, my writing partner, he's white from Oxfordshire.
Okay.
So he don't. So I said, yo, he was like, what is it? And I was like, well, after season 1, did any family member ask you to buy anything? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, did they ask you for anything? And he's like, well, no, obviously. And I'm like, right. So when I went home Christmas and I went to my mom's house and she was like, because she normally would like, oh, you want help with like gas money or something? I was like, no, mommy, I'm good. And she's like, you sure? And I'm like, don't worry, mommy, my thing's on BBC. I'm good. She's like, oh, okay. The next week she sent me to the supermarket and on the shopping list was a TV. And I was like, mommy, there's a TV on the list. And she's like, yeah, I was there the other day and I saw like a 40-inch and it's on sale. It's still on sale. I was like, yeah, it's on sale, but you know what I'm saying? So that is what black tax is.
Yeah.
So we don't get promoted, even when we make it, we don't progress as fast as our white friends because we have family obligations. And whereas in my case, is my mother want a new TV. A lot of times, for some of my other friends, it's like, yo, can you help out your little brother with like football club or like, extra classes and
School
all
trips,
of that,
things like that,
school
yeah.
trips. So, all of our income is not ours.
Yeah.
We have a family that we have to kind of help take care of because they themselves have sacrificed for us.
Exactly.
So that's what it is in a nutshell.
Yeah, and it's kind of obviously That TV story is absolutely hilarious. But it's obviously a bit more serious in season 2 because it's the fact that Amy's having to care for her mum whilst her younger sister is off getting new opportunities, so she thinks, in Oxford. Cambridge, yeah. And so obviously her sister comes back, just wants to do hair really, doesn't really like her university environment, which is fair enough. But can you kind of speak to that kind of like sister relationship that you wanted to explore and the kind of like onus and responsibility that's kind of like ping-ponged from both of them?
To be fair, again, that came from the room, which is why it's so important. At least for me personally, as a writer, I think about how do I cover my blind spots.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm a black man who raised in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to be a black woman. And to be fair, I have a vague idea of what it's like to be siblings, but I'm an only child. It's just that I grew up with my older cousin who, he was my older brother who I would just take and not care about giving to. Pick up yourself. But so yeah, it was the women in the room who really wanted to discuss that eldest daughter responsibility, specifically in a more like traditional background, like a Nigerian household where it is expected, like where your job is to pay back.
Yeah.
You know, and how the younger sibling, because of all the pressures that the older sibling went through, the younger sibling can just waltz through life. Because, like, you don't know what I'm going through,
exactly.
bro.
It must be nice.
It must be nice for you to want to make hair because I'm broken my back.
No,
like,
can't take the job I want.
And it being done unknowingly and unthanked because it's expected. And I guess I understand it as to be expected in the same way it was expected that our parents sacrificed for us. But we just wanted to kind of tell a little story that just highlights it and just be like, you know, I know we should do this, but you can also say thank you.
Yeah.
Or you can also say I'm grateful. Like, you know, I'll still do it, but like a little gratitude would be nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just, again, just wanted to highlight one of our stories.
Yeah, and I feel like, obviously I've said the second season really does highlight so much. But obviously I feel like its main focus is really trying to look at Kwabina's journey into trying to get authentic diversity, equity and inclusion in the industry. What are your personal thoughts about where we're at in the industry in terms of diversity, equity and inclusion?
Well, look, I think, and I've said it, a million people have said it, everybody's been saying it, but I think fundamentally we need to move away from intention versus impact, right? If I'm apologizing to you, am I apologizing because I want to relieve myself of guilt?
Exactly. Yeah.
Or am I apologizing because an apology will help you heal? No. I think the minute we start looking at these conversations from a position of impact, not what do I want to do, but what do I want this person to do and feel by whatever action? Because that will dictate my actions.
Yeah.
If I want you to grow, my thought will be, I'll talk to you, first of all, and be like, well, what will help you grow? Versus if I want you to grow, if I just want to grow somebody, I'm just pour water. I don't care for what the plant.
You don't have to really think
No,
about it.
you know, I'll pour water once a week, even if the plant need water once 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I will not put anything else in, even if you should soak the water with banana peel. I have loads of flowers, by the way.
Love that.
But, you know, I'll just do whatever I want, not thinking about you.
Yeah.
Because I want to do it. I want to water somebody. I want to help somebody. Not, I want this person to be uplifted.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the minute and that's why all of them fail.
Yeah.
Every single one has failed because of that single reason. The powers that be, are thinking about their intentions, not thinking about the impact that they want to have with their actions. So I think once we shift that, everything will fall in place. But will they? We'll see.
When we last spoke, I remember you kind of spoke about the fact that it felt like a really exciting time to be
Mm-hmm.
a black producer, because it was the kind of year where we had Champion coming up, we had Riches, obviously Dreaming Whilst Black season
Yeah.
1. And I remember you said it feels like a good time to be
Yeah.
a black producer.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being, obviously you're a director and writer as well. How do you feel like the land is lying right now in 2025 as a black producer?
I mean, to be black is to be optimistic, because if not, we might as well just pack up.
Yeah,
You know
okay.
what I mean? But I will say it is more tricky. What I will say is that fortunately, because of technology and access and streaming platforms, that there are more opportunities for us. Because, you know, everybody will say from the strikes that happened in America, and even the below the line strikes that happened in America, there's less TV being made. So it's tough for everybody. Me even hear a white man a complain. I'm like, rah, boy.
Must be bad.
From Phila complain, it must rough. You know what I'm saying? So it is generally a tricky time. But I just think in tricky times, people tend to make riskier decisions.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will mean opportunities for us, and the more of us become successful, the more of us, even though a few of us return for our second season, the more of us who really do well, like Supercell did really well,
Yeah.
Black Ops did really well, Borders did really well. You know, if we can do really well, then at least, you know, forget your feelings. Let's talk about money.
Yeah.
We sell, we make money. So hopefully the more of us that do that in difference, because these 4 shows I just mentioned are 4 completely different shows.
In completely different
And,
genres.
right, so hopefully the more of us that become successful, they'll at least see the financial value. So when the next person says, oh, I have this black idea about this black guy who's just trying to do something, they'll be like, oh, that's a bit like dreaming, isn't it? You know what I mean? And commission them,
Yeah.
because we're gone now.
Yeah.
You know, so I still think there's room for optimism for us.
No, definitely. And kind of speaking to that, what are your hopes for Dreaming Whilst Black? Is there more story left to tell post season 2? Is that what you're envisioning for it in an optimistic world?
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, if the show gets cancelled at season 2, yeah, the message of the show is crazy.
Yeah. Especially, yes. After the way season 2 ends, we need to see Kwabena making Jamaica
You
Road,
know
please.
what I'm saying? So that's what we want.
Please.
We want to see Kwabena make Jamaica Road. That would be great. Ideally, who knows? We'd even love to see Kwabena go Jamaica. I don't know.
Oh my God,
you know what I'm
that'd be
saying?
great.
But yeah, we definitely have more story to tell. So, we just love the opportunity to do that. So I
Yeah.
hope everybody watches.
And would you look them dead in the eye?
Watch the show and tell your friend, tell your mom to put it in the anti-WhatsApp group. Right.
Because that's where it will fly.
Because that's where it flies. That's where. That's how we survived. Yeah.
100%.
So
And in terms of a possible potential season 3, would we be seeing Kwabena making Jamaica Road, or is it going to be another, maybe?
I think that's it.
Yeah?
I think there's so long you can make an audience wait on, like, is he gonna do the thing?
Because it
before
kind of
they-
leaves on a cliffhanger. Season
Yeah.
2.
But I think that's where we're at now.
Okay.
I think he's gone. He's gone. Fought to be in the industry. Been chewed up and spat out by the industry. So at this point, he has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So might as well go for it.
Yeah, he's really
So,
got nothing to lose.
Like, he got nothing.
Because I feel like season 2 ends in a completely different space to season 1.
Yeah.
Like, Kwabena's actually standing on business.
Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
So, no, I'm ready, 10 toes down, let's go. So that would be what we would go for in season 3.
Lovely. And I guess speaking more generally, what are your hopes for the kinds of stories that you hope to create in the future?
Just a variety. I feel like personally, as an artist, I've never really thought, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be, I need to raise £100,000 to save my mom, give her mom this cancer treatment, or she's going to die, or like, something's crashing to earth, we got to save it.
Yeah.
Like, those things are great. I watch them as well. I don't act like I don't enjoy all of that. But for me personally as an artist, I've always found our interpersonal struggles just as interesting.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I really just want to keep telling just general human stories, you know, and whether we push them into a surreal space, even in that world, I will still always focus on the interpersonal reactions and, you know, just trying to grapple with everyday struggles. I think to be honest, that's my bag.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep doing that regardless of the genre. If I breach into other genres, what that would be.
Yeah, and because I watched My Jerome.
Yeah.
And that's so tonally different, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's so heartbreaking and so like emotionally raw. Is that kind of the avenue you want to kind of explore a bit more, like
So,
going down the drama
weirdly
route?
enough, Dreaming Whilst Black was my first comedy.
Oh.
We only did that because I wanted to do something on the internet, and I was like, well, everything that go viral is funny, so I guess it gotta be funny. I'm gonna write some jokes.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you know what I mean? So I do naturally sit in the drama space, which is probably why in the underbelly of Dreaming, you can still feel, there's a lot going on underneath that we mask with jokes. So but then even in My Jerome, as much as we're discussing like knife crime, it's actually just about this one family, a mother's love, and trying to grapple with the impending reality that her son might go to jail. You know, so even in such a macro theme, I just wanted to explore just that.
Yeah.
Let's just explore this family for a morning.
Yeah.
You know, so that is where, no matter the genre, I think I will tell deeper themes. Because I guess for me, growing up in Jamaica, that's what stories did.
Exactly.
All our stories are fables. All our stories have some deeper message or some instruction or some teaching, no matter how crazy they'll be. So that's how I was taught to tell stories. And don't get me wrong, I love the nonsense
The singing
that others make. But this is how I was taught to tell stories.
Yeah. And so in the future, you definitely want to continue exploring the avenue of drama, maybe a bit more.
Yeah, man. Give me some dramas. Might give you some sci-fi.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Might give you a little action thing. You know, but it's for me it is my process of storytelling is, what do I want to say? Who do I want to say it to? How best do I think that person will receive it? And that kind of dictates the art for me. So whether that is, sometimes that might not even be film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes that might be a novel. Sometimes that might be a short story. Or sometimes that just might be academic text. But I think stories are meant to be shared.
Yeah.
So I think about that personally, about impact.
Yeah.
And then it's like, how best would my cousin want to watch?
Exactly.
Want to talk about his life.
Yeah.
And I think he'd want to laugh about it.
100%. I guess if you could summarize Dreaming Whilst Black season 2 in a little teaser, a little sentence, how would you describe it?
Man, I would say Dreaming Whilst Black season 2 specifically is about the complications that the man them go through when they're trying to shine.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. That's very apt.
Yeah.
Having seen it all, very apt. And I guess just super finally, obviously for Pass the Mic, it's all about passing the mic on to the next person. Who would you love to nominate for our next Pass the Mic interview?
Did someone nominate me?
No, that was just me. Morgan Cormack just nominated
Hey,
Adjani.
Thank you. You know what I mean? If that's the case, then I think someone else who's doing great in this space, I would nominate Rapman, actually.
fair.
I think Rapman has excelled in a way that's unprecedented and not quite studied as much as it should be because he's just always done his own thing. So I would nominate him.
Fab. Well, watch your space.
Yeah, man.
And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.